What's going on, man?
My God.
How you doing?
How you feeling?
Great seeing you. How you doing?
Long time.
Yeah, same here.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
That's good.
We got some of your favorite here. Sparkling vignette.
Thank you. I learned from last time.
Yeah, a little cheers. A little twirl.
That's loud. That's too loud on my part.
No, that's great. The glass didn't break, so we're good.
Oh,
Hit as hard as you can until the glass breaks.
Okay.
After you, we'll head this
All
way.
right. Sounds good.
Yeah, so I was kind of laughing because this is really our second time meeting in person.
Yeah, because I feel like we've known each other for quite some time, through Akachi and then Jesse and all them.
Yeah.
But then it's only the second time we actually connected, right?
Right. I felt the same way, and I'm like, that's funny that
Yeah.
both times that we've seen each other in person, we're doing like a podcast or like
Yeah, doing
something.
some content.
So next time, I'm excited for what we're doing next time we hang out.
Perfect. That's hilarious. That's so
But
funny.
we're
How these people, like, they just don't understand. Like,
Right.
you gotta support businesses. Like,
Absolutely.
that's the essence of what we do. Good looks, appreciate it.
So the Velvet Martini Lounge,
Got 'em.
Velvet Martini Room.
Okay. I love it, man. I remember last time it was like empty. Now it's like
Yeah.
it's come to life,
Yeah.
just like you wanted it.
Rolling? All right, man. Well, welcome to the Velvet Martini.
Nah, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I'm
of course,
excited.
man.
I'm excited.
Yeah, Food and Flight, episode number 2. So my guest, Amobi Okugo,
That's good.
30 under 30. Forbes 30 under 30. Congratulations.
Oh, appreciate it.
Host of the Frugal Athlete podcast, website. I mean, how did that start?
Yeah, it started on a whim, to be honest. So, way back during my time in, I think Portland at the time. So I saw the 30 for 30 Broke documentary, and I was shocked because these are NBA, NFL, high level athletes that are
Right.
doing well for themselves. Unfortunately, come into financial distress due to like bad spending habits, lack of financial literacy, shady financial advisors,
Right.
emotional blackmail from family,
Right.
just all these different reasons. And as a soccer player in the States, we don't make as much money as them. So I was like, if these athletes are kind of falling under the wayside, that means I need to buckle down 10x.
Yeah.
So after I finished the documentary, it was all right. Let me search for some athletes that are doing it the right way.
Yeah.
And what I kept finding were LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, Tom Brady, Serena Williams. And it's like, yeah, these are good role models to follow, but not every athlete is going to be an anomaly like that.
Right.
So let me do some more research. So I did more research, and it was more athletes similar to the Broke documentary. Like, this athlete did this. This is what not to do. This athlete lost this. So after some, soul searching, I was like, you know what? Let me just create my own platform where I'm learning from, athletes that have done it the right way. Not necessarily, made millions of dollars, but, leverage the capital that they've had,
Right.
leverage the relationships, leverage the resources, leverage the opportunities. And I've always been, kind of get picked on for being frugal or cheap. So I was like, a frugal athlete, that's what we're going to call it,
Right.
and then go from there. So started off as like a kind of like a side hustle project.
Yeah.
I was already doing school, so it was something I just did on the side, like research athlete, talk about it on my website. But then as I continued to build it, it's like, why not make it like a, business? So
Right.
that's kind of how it started. And over time became like a subject matter expert because I was like one of the few people talking about it consistently. And then through that process, accolades starting to come, and hopefully money will start coming too.
Yeah.
So you don't do everything for free, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
I mean, you're building a brand, which is
Exactly.
really cool. And I know that's something that you talk a lot about. I've listened to your podcast; it's become one of my favorite
Hey,
podcasts.
respect.
Listening to it, man. So it's because it's important. I mean, it's an important topic that's not really talked about a whole lot. Professional sports aside, just everybody in general, nobody really likes to talk about money or their spending or debt or anything like that.
Exactly.
And because it's seen as like, if you don't know what you're doing, it's seen as a bad thing. But who's teaching us this?
Exactly.
It's not something that you're necessarily. I mean, there's classes in school you can take, but for the general population, there's not a whole lot of education on being frugal or being financially smart and how to invest and different things like that. So I think it's a really cool thing that you're doing, a great platform for people, not just athletes, but people, everyday people that can go on there and maybe learn something about how to manage their money a little bit better.
Man, that's you bring up a great point, because that's kind of what we wanted to have. Athletes are natural trendsetters. People
Right.
look up to athletes. So if we get them talking about financial literacy, them as role models, the young people that want to be athletes, or the fans or the individuals, we can use sports and their stories to create simple principles through financial literacy. So
Right.
that's the ultimate goal. And I'm glad you brought that up, because it's not specific to athletes,
Mhm.
but obviously we cater to athletes and
Sure.
then indirectly help everyone.
Right.
Because like financial literacy is not just a specific problem. Everyone deals with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, my the documentary you're talking about, Broke. That's one of my favorite ESPN documentaries. And so actually, I used that for when I was doing multi-level marketing with an energy drink called Verve. I don't know if you've heard about it. Verve.
Hey, they got to plug you for that.
Yeah, right. I didn't make any money then. Well, how about now?
Yeah.
But I would use I like studied that documentary because using my network from where I was out there in Arizona, which is where I got involved in it. And I came across a few professional athletes, and then that's what I was talking to them about. It's like, hey, sports may not, or sports won't last forever. It's not a will it or won't it. No, your body can only take so much for so long, so you got to do something afterwards eventually. Exactly. Unless you're, LeBron James or the Tom Brady or these guys, but they're playing forever. It seems like with no end in sight necessarily. So, but if you're the lower tier, not as far as skill set, or at least everybody can play that's in the league. You can play. So it's just a matter of the opportunities. But if the opportunity's not necessarily there for you anymore, what are you going to do afterwards? Because the money eventually is going to run out.
You bring up a great point. Father Time's undefeated. Sports is the only thing that is guaranteed to end in divorce. Right. You can't play forever. So, you got to think of your next game. And athletes, they need to understand they have a lot of transferable skills that can translate to the corporate space, entrepreneurship space, business space, whatever you want to do after. Apply some of the skills that you've learned from sports, whether it's goal setting, working within a team, communication, learning how to, take no, and taking it and applying it, and doing some other things with that. So that's what it's all about, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. So being a professional soccer player, played all around the U.S., all around the world. Where's your favorite place to play?
Oh, that's tough, man.
You don't have to be like, the team I play for. You can be like favorite location, wherever.
So all right, away games in Toronto, great time. Okay. Always fun to play in LA.
Is that because of the stadium, or is it just the nightlife afterwards?
Everything else
outside of it? Gotcha.
So Santa Monica, I got family and friends that will come out. And then obviously after the game, when you enjoy a nice win. Toronto, great time. It's lovely out there. I got family out there as well. Okay. Chicago's a slept-on city. Great food, by the way.
And I agree with you. I went to Chicago 2 years ago this month, actually. 2 years ago this month.
Oh, so you did a winter in Chicago.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah.
I did not dress for it.
Summer Chicago.
I like have like holes in my jeans. I'm like trying to be all trendy and like walk outside because I'm like, we're going to be inside like the whole time. But I'll walk from the hotel to the shuttle bus that we're taking.
And your fingers froze.
Oh my God, I'm freezing. Yeah. I'm like, this was just a short walk. Like I'm frozen now.
No chance.
But we did a pizza tour.
Okay.
And we did.
So you like New York pizza or Chicago pizza more?
Ooh, I like pizza however it comes.
Just no complaints.
But I love, like, out here, one of the local spots, Chicago Fire Pizza. Yeah. And because we did the pizza tour of, these Chicago legendary pizza places, and being able to compare it with what we have here. Chicago Fire does a really, really good job of
keeping it authentic.
Yeah, it's super authentic, and I like from the crust to the cheese and like everything they do. I'm like, that's pretty good. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. We're only there for a couple days, so we did all the touristy stuff. Went to Sears Tower, which was cool, but kind of been there, done that. If I go back to Chicago, I'm gonna try to find all the underground places. So.
Respect. And then internationally, Portugal is really a good vibe.
Oh, I bet.
Playing there, got to play in France. Slept on Germany. Germany's pretty good vibe. Yeah. But the thing about being able to travel is like not just like going there and just focusing on soccer. It's being able to like explore the city and like try new restaurants. That's a blessing, So I've been very fortunate. And there's no one city that I hate, but
Mhm.
Salt Lake, July. It's not that I don't like the city. It's just every year when I was going there, we play on July 4th, and literally
Gotcha.
no fireworks show. All the restaurants were closed. It would just be
Really?
so weird. But I've heard it's a great city. You just have to
Yeah.
know the locals.
I love how I didn't even ask you what's your least favorite city. You're
Yeah.
just like, Utah sucks.
I'm just.
I didn't even ask you that.
It's
It's just
my
like, I
bad.
just got to let everyone
I
know.
just gotta let everyone know. If someone is watching this and like has
Yeah.
vibes or has
Yeah.
recommendations,
Yeah.
please let me know. Because every time I've gone to Salt Lake, and
Yeah.
every time I bring it up, it's like, well, you didn't like Salt Lake? I'm like,
Right.
well, there was nothing to do there.
Right.
So
So I've been to Utah a few times, and there's one place that we drive through, and I can't remember the name of it. It's like this trendy little town. Oh my
is it
gosh.
like on the outskirts of Salt Lake or somewhere?
Outskirts of Salt Lake.
Okay.
I think I want to say like maybe 45 minutes outside
Uh-huh.
of Salt Lake.
What'd you do? Like
It's gonna bug
snowboard or
me.
something
Oh no, bad for my knees.
there?
I can't do that anymore. My knees, my back, everything. No, we would just drive through, and there's like some
Okay.
good restaurants there. It'll come to me probably by the time we finish talking.
Nah, no worries.
Then I'll shout it at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking about food because that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
topics. On your Instagram, you post a lot about you cooking and all that stuff.
I'm trying to get like you, man.
Like me, I eat the food. I'm a professional eater. I'm not necessarily a professional cook. I'll leave that to them downstairs. But I'll cook a little bit. I just don't like cleaning up.
That's the worst part.
I would cook a lot more if I didn't have to clean up.
Yeah.
And then my wife Shelby, she's like, "Oh well, I'll clean up." I was like, "Then I feel bad because you're clean because I make a huge mess, and then you're cleaning everything up." So, but you cook a lot. What is your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, that's a good question. So right now, I'm most comfortable with my rice and stew. It's not like my mom's, which is hard to compete, your mom's. But rice and stew, it's a Nigerian dish. Rice and stew is tomato-based stew. Then on the side, you got plantains, and you got chicken, and then sometimes, to be healthy, you get the,
ranch,
no.
ranch drizzle.
Yeah, you get the you make it like a little spinach medley. So spinach,
Gotcha,
like mushrooms, onions.
Yeah.
So that's my go-to right now. But
Gotcha.
I got a little pasta medley. I like to mix it up a little bit, a little fried rice.
Whenever you post, whether I've eaten just after or just before I see your post, I'm still hungry looking at your food. I'm like,
thanks.
that looks pretty good. So props to you for
Most
doing that. So Sacramento.
Yeah.
So born and raised here, right?
So born in Hayward, but raised in Sacramento.
Hayward, that's right.
I moved here when I was 3, so it's not like I remember anything in Hayward.
Yeah.
So.
What are your favorite things about Sacramento? Because I mean, when we spoke last time, when I was on Everybody Eats, we talked about this a little bit to where, Sacramento kind of gets a bad rap over the last 15, 20 years, 30 years. A lot of it, I think, is because of Shaq.
Yeah.
Because he's calling us a cow town and all that during that heated rivalry. So, but Sacramento obviously has grown so much since then.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite things to do in Sacramento and favorite places to go? Besides the Sheldon Inn and the Velvet Martini and Adkins Family Vineyards.
No, respect.
Obviously, those are number one.
No, facts. The thing with Sacramento is because I've been able to travel all over, but I always find myself back home in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Not only because family's here, but it's just the community feel.
Yeah.
Everyone's welcoming in the sense of we're not like the LA, we're not like the Bay, where it's, I don't want to say pretentious or, everyone has something to do. People in Sacramento are very like homely, very welcoming, and, very open. So when I'm back home, I like to check out the local restaurants. You can always do like the chains and, all that stuff, but Sacramento has a good feel to it where it's like Sacramento people have their own restaurants. So Adkins Family Vineyards, shameless plug.
I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
Urban Roots, you got Rick's Diner, Gunther's, Pangea, all these different places that like started and were like blossomed in Sacramento. That's what it's all about. And then it's very timely in the sense of, if you want to go outdoors, got a pretty good hike scene, pretty good trail scene. What I love about Sacramento is that you have Sacramento, but then you have all the communities outside of it. Elk Grove, Roseville, Folsom, Natomas, and it's like just the greater community of Sacramento. And you have a lot of different, I don't want to say ethnicities, but a lot of different groups that make Sacramento a melting pot.
Yeah.
And if you want to, get outside, 2 hours to Tahoe, hour and a half to the Bay,
Right.
hour flight to LA. So
Right.
you're good because you can get all that, all that jazz, but still stay home and build that community. So
I couldn't agree more. That's one of my favorite places about living here too, is being so close to a lot of different things and still have the hometown feel. And like, especially I feel like, maybe because I grew up out here, I know more people out here than the other side of town. So, but just being out here, and I did live on the other side of town and things like that. But Elk Grove, Wilton area, which is where we're located, obviously, and where I grew up, people waving at you that don't know you on the road, and like it's just going down to places like LA or like Newport Beach or Huntington, or like beautiful, beautiful places, but you may not get that.
Exactly.
It's not the same. Cause some places you wave at them, they're like,
yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Like,
they
get upset at you. Like, whoa, you don't know me.
How'd you hear about this restaurant? This is like our secret spot. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so going back to A Frugal Athlete.
Yeah.
Because I like it so much. One of the questions, no, man, it's awesome. Anytime that you can mix, especially like the sports realm with education of any kind, but sports, because like you said, it's such a draw. People look up to athletes, and then teaching athletes how to brand and build themselves and set themselves up off of their short playing careers, I think is incredible. So with that, what's the best piece of financial advice that somebody has given you for either your own personal brand, for athletes, or just for anybody in general?
Oh, that's I think we'll be here all day. I mean, I guess the best piece of advice, I think it would probably just be like, master the basics, because everyone wants to be so complex in like what they do, whether it's from an investment strategy, whether it's like how to make money, whether it's like, saving mechanisms to like beat the market or, avoid taxes. But the most successful individuals, whether it's sport, whether it's business, whether it's corporate, they master the basics. And when you master the basics, the complex things get to be so simple. So,
Gotcha.
You don't know how many times like athletes will pay someone to, budget their expenses. Like, yeah, you can have someone that handles your finances and stuff, but you should at least know like how much you're spending on your mortgage, or how much you're spending on rent, or how much your monthly payment costs for your car. And when you master the basics, just like in sports, like you can't shoot a 3-pointer if you don't know how to make a layup.
Right.
Or you can't run a 4-3 scheme if you don't know the positions on the field. So you have to understand the basics first, and that allows you to build and build and build off that when it comes to life, sports, and most importantly your finances.
Right. All right. A lot of people talk about success, and success is closely tied with money, or your finances or anything. So, but you and I know, and a lot of other people know that, hey, success doesn't mean what's in your bank account.
Yeah.
So, and I think that you're a great example of that. How would you define success?
No, that's a great question. I think success is like impact. I mean, last time we spoke, you talked about what success means, and it's like when you grew up here, before your family took it over, it was like the fact that you guys came here like every Sunday, and it was like a family environment. So for the previous owners, I would say that to build a family environment for people that want food and fine dining, that's what success looks like to them. I know you had Charlie speak last episode, and I'm sure like for him in his fitness journey, helping people feel their best selves. Obviously, people want to make money, but that's probably success for him. Like someone coming not feeling confident in their appearance or their physical shape, and working with him, that's what the success looks like. For me, whether it's a frugal athlete, whether it's like philanthropy stuff, how much impact can I provide? So whether they work with me or whether they communicate with me, or associate themselves with me, how can I impact them in a way to not only better themselves but better their family or better their community? So if you provide value in that way, the money will come. So I feel like when you provide impact, when you provide value, the money will come, and it actually comes more than if you just want to make money.
Yeah.
So that's what success looks like. A gentleman, a mentor of mine, always tells me, always reminds me, it's like, when life is all over, do you want to be remembered as an example or a warning? And more often than
I like
not,
that.
if you're an example, good things will happen
Yeah.
for you. So that's my definition of success, I guess.
I like that. Never heard that before.
Yeah, it tripped me out when he told me. I was like, an example? I mean, example for sure. He's like, all right, so what are you doing to be an example? Right. And it doesn't have to be like you telling everyone, like, this is how you got to do it. Like, you don't have to be like one of those rah-rah type of guys. You can just be like how you present yourself, how you carry yourself, how you impact others around you. People notice that, people see that, and people are drawn to that. So that's what it's all about.
Nice. So talking about impact, you have a foundation, the OK Hugo Foundation.
Oh, respect.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so first and foremost, credit to anyone that's done like volunteer, nonprofit, charity work, because I didn't know it was like so advanced, and like I just wanted to help people.
Yeah.
But there's like processes that you got to go through and like to like really make an impact. So credit to anyone that's doing that. So the OK Hugo Foundation is essentially a platform where we try to provide unique opportunities to children from low income backgrounds, give them resources, athletic, social, educational programs. To just give them opportunities to, not only better themselves, but better their community. So we'll do soccer clinics, soccer workshops, financial workshops with some of the information that we take from A Frugal Athlete, and then social programming, try to do like a movie night, a field trip, donate to a certain class. We're not where we want to be yet. Definitely need to seek some experts in how we can, provide more value. But for the most part, since we've started, we've done some really cool things. So we're just trying to increase that.
Yeah. How can people go about donating to the foundation?
Oh, shoot. www.amobiokugo.com/foundation. But yeah, outside of the donation, just any help in terms of which schools we can reach out to in the greater Sacramento area. We do mentorships, we do clinics. Obviously, with COVID, it's kind of different right now, but we're just trying to give back. We do like backpack drives. Any way we can help and provide value and provide impact to kids that don't really get those opportunities. That's what it's all about.
All right. Awesome, man.
Yeah,
okay, so Forbes 30 under 30. We got to talk about it, man.
Oh my god, I thought we was gonna avoid that.
No, you're not avoiding that because that's exciting, man.
Thanks,
that's extremely exciting. I when I saw that, I'm like, yes, that's
respect.
awesome. Good for you, man. Like,
I appreciate it.
So, I mean, tell me about how you found out you were going to be on the list, or like, was it a phone call, email, like what happened?
So it was a text from one of my buddies. He texted me like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was like half asleep. He was like, "Yo, congrats on Forbes." I texted him. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And so he sent me the link, and he was like, "Yo, congrats, you made the list." And backstory: so January 2020, to start before all this COVID stuff happened, I like took a personal retreat, and like one of the goals I wrote, like, all right, Forbes 30 under 30, and I thought just like the work I was gonna do, hopefully would get recognized and get on the sheet, but fortunately, and like maybe that's just God working, he sent me a sign. A friend of mine, her and her best friend have a creative agency, so they did like a Forbes campaign, and they happened to tag me in a post.
Okay.
Because of some previous work that they did for me and my company to get on like a Forbes article.
Yeah.
So I saw it and I was like, oh, you can like self-apply for Forbes 30 under 30s, and I'm 29, so I gotta do it. So I like stopped everything I was doing. I did the application process and posted it on like LinkedIn, Facebook, all the like platforms you needed to do. And fortunately, friends, family, mentors, they also submitted like referrals or requests or applications, and then I passed like the next round. So I had to do like an interview, and then after that I was like, all right, cool, probably gonna hear from like early next year when they make the announcement. And then didn't hear from them, so I was like, all right, cool. I mean, and then 2 weeks ago or a week ago, whatever it was, I got the text from my buddy, and then later I got the email from like the Forbes people, and they're like, yeah, you made the official list, congratulations. The magazine will be out in a couple weeks. Join all these communities and congrats. So
That's awesome. And I saw you picked up your copies
yeah,
yesterday.
I picked up 3 copies. You know, got to have one for like whatever,
Yeah.
one to like put on for inspiration,
Yeah.
and then just one just in case you lose the other 2.
Yeah, I gotta go pick mine up now. Just because you're in it, man. So
no, it's just a little blurb, just a little name. So the next goal is like to be on the cover or something. We'll see.
Hey, another couple years, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
You'll be there, no doubt.
Hopefully, I still look good a little bit. You know?
Still, I don't know. We'll see. I guess he's on Forbes now. He thinks he's all that. Okay. All right. So, Food and Flight.
Okay.
Is the show. So we're doing a flight of drinks. So this barrel aged old fashioned. Thank you so much, Nick. So we start out with the sparkling wine. Now this is the best show that you can be on because we get you liquored up and we feed you food.
Oh yeah.
So we got some Brussels sprouts with bacon.
Brussels sprouts is my go-to order.
Okay.
Anytime for appetizers.
So I'm not a big Brussels sprouts fan, but everybody tells me that these are the best they've ever had.
Okay.
But I don't want to hype them up too much. Cheers. You ever have an old fashioned before?
Yeah. Got a couple. Oh, this is good, man.
Yeah. Our bartenders, they're the best, man. Shane and Jason, they do a great job.
Ooh-wee.
So this.
So this is the second one, and we got a third one coming.
No. First, second, third, and I know you know we won't get you drunk here, unless you wanted to. But
you got the limo.
Just a little taste. Yeah, we got the limo waiting. We'll take you wherever you want to go, man.
We call this the trifecta. What do we call this?
Sir.
Oh yeah, sorry. Cheers.
Cheers. We gotta be careful with this one.
Boom. That's the light little. Oh my! I can't bring that down.
Right?
I can't.
It's so good.
Bro, what's in this?
It's French vanilla vodka. Or I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
It is Grey Goose vanilla vodka, Chambord raspberry liqueur, and pineapple juice with a raspberry garnish.
Okay.
And it is. This has become my favorite drink. It is.
Call this the trifecta.
I really like the whiskeys. And they make these here, the Manhattans and the old fashions, all this. They make them themselves, barrel aged. If you go into the bar downstairs and you see the little barrels that they have up in the bar, that's aging this. So they make them. I actually just bought a big bottle of it that they made for my brother-in-law. He helped me. I had a run in with a curb with my car.
Oh, okay.
I didn't run it over. Well, I ran it over. I didn't hit it.
Okay.
And when I backed up, it pulled my bumper partially off. And he's in the body shop business and helped me out. So gave him a bottle as a gift because he's a big whiskey drinker. So, so you do a lot of different things. Not only do you have the OK Hugo Foundation, not only do you have the Frugal Athlete, you also have a podcast that you do with your brother Akachi.
Yeah, your boy.
Pass the Remote, which is a very entertaining podcast where you guys talk about movies, TV shows, pop culture.
But respect though, because you be helping us out with some of the shows too.
I do?
Yeah, you be like giving us some insight.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course. Yeah, I see. Like for me, I grew up watching. I mean, a lot of people grew up watching TV, but like I didn't realize how much of an impact TV made on me. TV, movies. Most of what I say is a movie or TV reference. And my wife gets annoyed because she didn't grow up like that. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, you know what that's from? And she's like, leave me alone, you know? So a lot of people think of TV as a distraction or a negative connotation, especially as like the entrepreneur world, where it's like, oh, well, you should be out there grinding 24/7. And like, there's this, that connotation that people think. But you got to have your downtime.
Exactly.
Give your mind a little bit of rest.
Facts.
And I think it's really cool that you do all this other stuff and are successful at it, and then throw this in there as well, and just have a fun time with your brother talking about some of your favorite TV shows, favorite movies. So what are some of the favorite shows that you guys have talked about?
Oh, then you put them on the spot. Favorite shows all time or just like current in rotation?
Both. Let's start out.
Favorite shows all time. No debates. Sopranos and The Wire. 1A, 1B. Sometimes I say The Wire's the best show. Sometimes I say Sopranos is the best show. But those are the two shows I talk about all the time. Akachi, he's not really like a mafia, I don't want to say gangster type show guy.
Yeah.
He's starting to get into it. So he hasn't seen The Sopranos. He hasn't seen The Wire. So
Mhm.
I'll just go on my rants when I talk about that.
Yeah.
Shows that we both like: Snowfall, Power, Friday Night Lights, classic. What's that other show? There's so many good shows. Sons of Anarchy, way back in the day. But current shows we're watching right now, that's like in rotation. We're watching Kingdom on Netflix.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the best show, so.
Yeah.
But
You're
it's
just
pretty
watching
good.
it.
Yeah, we're just watching.
Yeah.
Watching For Life. We're watching Power Book 2. I just watched Queen's Gambit. He's about to watch it. So we just try to keep the steady flow of movies, TV, film.
Yeah.
And it's like, where do you guys all this time? It's like sometimes you just get like a day off to binge,
Right.
and then that's what we do. So
Yeah.
So it's been fun. It's been really fun.
That's awesome. So favorite show of all time?
I got to go The Wire.
Wire.
Yeah.
Okay. Wire. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've seen maybe one episode of The Wire. So
Wait,
what is it? What is it? What is it?
What's your favorite show?
So I'm more of like.
You like funny stuff.
I like funny stuff because
let me guess,
at the end of the day.
Office.
So it's not my favorite show of all time,
Okay.
but I do enjoy The Office.
You definitely quote The Office in all your conversations.
Do I?
No, I'm asking.
Oh, not as much as you would think. So
Okay.
like, I think The Office is a fantastic show.
Yeah.
Do I binge it? Yes, but my all-time favorite show is actually Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which I know you guys did an episode of because I did their 30-year anniversary show, which I watched, and then I didn't. My biggest thing with Netflix was they didn't have Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Ever. Like.
Yeah.
I went. My sister lives in Brazil, and when we went out there, this is like 2012, 2013. When I went out there, the Netflix out there had it.
Are you serious?
And so I was binging it, and I'm like, this is fantastic.
It's on HBO Max right now.
And I found that out a few weeks ago, and I just finished season 6 last season.
Yeah.
And then now I'm on season 4 again. Or I'm sorry, episode 4, season 1. I restarted watching it and I didn't realize how much of an impact that show had on me until like I watched it as an adult.
That's hilarious.
Because growing up watching it, like Nick at Night, it would just play in reruns.
Exactly.
And so watching it actually the first time in sequential order.
That's the thing. I don't think I've seen it in sequential order. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna have to join that train and like watch it from like season 1 to season 6.
You should, because it's
and it actually follows like a storyline too, right?
Yeah, I mean, somewhat. I mean, the great thing about that show is you can jump in and watch it and laugh your butt off. Yeah. But like seeing some episodes in season 6, I was like, how? This was season 6? Yeah. Like I thought this was sooner. And then like when Will and Lisa, I'm like, oh yeah, like that's like who we married and like all that stuff. And then watching it again, I'm like, she wasn't even in season 6. Like what happened there? And then I read up on it, and I guess like Will's mom, Aunt Vi, or not, I'm sorry, Vi, married Lisa's dad in like the last episode of season 5. Because they were gonna get married. Will and Lisa were gonna get married in like Vegas or something.
Aunt Viv got married, or
I'm sorry, Vi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Will's mom.
So Will's mom. Okay.
Yeah, she got married to Lisa's dad.
Yeah, okay.
When Will and Lisa were trying to go off and get married, and that Isaac Hayes was on that episode, and he was married. That was a great episode. And then they're like, oh, it doesn't feel right with the family. And then they get back, and then Will's mom and Lisa's dad hit it off, and then they ended up getting married.
Yeah.
At Will and Lisa's wedding there. And so then they're stepbrother, stepsister. And obviously they can't get married now then. So I'm like, this whole time I was thinking, because I was watching Out of Order, I'm like, that's who he ended up with. Yeah. That's great. And Mia Long was great in Fresh Prince. So, but yeah, I love TV. I love movies. And so you guys having that podcast just makes me very happy. To a lot of the shows I haven't seen, but it gives me ideas for things to watch. But I have to watch those shows before I listen to some of the episodes because
we already know
spoiler alerts.
24 hours. You got 24 hours, and we can do the spoilers. Those are the rules.
That's fair. Yeah, that's more than fair. So, but yeah. So how did that come about? the podcast? How did that podcast come about?
It was actually random, to be honest, but you know, he likes to do a lot of things, and then me, like, I like to do a lot of things. You know, the saying is like jack of all trades, master of none. But we want to like break that notion down. So if we want to do something that we are passionate about, let's give it our all and see where the chips may fall. So I was thinking one day, I was like, we usually call each other like once a week and talk about like the different shows. I was like, yo, bro, we should just make this into a podcast. He was like, you think people listen? He's like, if they listen, they listen. If they don't, whatever.
Because you guys are having the conversation either way.
Exactly. So we was like, all right, let's just put it on IGTV and see where it happens from there. So that's kind of how it came about. And like so far, it's been good. We got like a small little community. We're definitely gonna have to have a movie night here.
Yeah.
Once everything.
We're gonna have a big projector screen going over coming down from the ceiling here. We already have somebody working on it. So yeah, let's do it, man. We can definitely do that.
Pass the remote for sure. Pass the remote. Atkins Family Vineyards collab.
Movie night.
But yeah, that's about it. So we was just like, yo, let's do it. And the hardest thing is starting, as you know, like the hardest thing to make something successful is starting and staying consistent. So like you could do one episode, you could do 2 episodes, you could do, you could work out for a week, but what happens after a month? What happens after 3 months? What happens after a year, 5 years? Can you keep that level of consistency?
For sure.
And that's what we've been able to do so far. Obviously, we've missed a couple weeks. We've had to change dates because of his schedule or my schedule, but we've continued to push out content and push out that platform. So it's good. We've 54 episodes now. Yeah, so it's almost pushing on a year plus. So I'm happy, and I think we're gonna see a lot more activations moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, man. I mean, it's so cool everything that you do. I really appreciate you coming on my show. I'm very humbled by that.
Man. Anytime.
So yeah, I think right now we got some more food coming. We're gonna go ahead and eat the rest of the food. Drink. Well, I don't know if it'd be safe to drink the rest of everything, but we can at least sip on it. Yeah. But hey, man, I really appreciate you coming on.
Much love, always.
And congrats on everything, man. All the success, man. And
we always love with you guys, man. So I appreciate you having me.
Of course.
Definitely gonna have to tap in again.
Absolutely, man. So you can please go donate to the OK You Go Foundation.
Oh, good.
And then also check out the Pass the Remote podcast, A Frugal Athlete podcast. Go to their website, afrugalathlete.com.
Yes, sir.
And check out all the articles and everything that they have going on. Amobi Okugo.
My guy.
My pleasure, man.
Respect. Appreciate it.